Well, here is test one of what I'm going to call IBC 2 and or 3 and 4 rather. Um, they are full, and I'm actually running these separate because, as I was explaining in the previous video, the insides are still a little sticky. So I'm actually running them through the filter probably for a couple of days before I include IBC 1 and 2 in filtration, so they can kind of get an idea of how it works. Right now I believe I have it at about the level that I want it, not the levels necessarily of the totes. I don't have a choice in that matter, um, just due to the fact that it's at the level that it's required to throw a gravity flow into the barrel. So both of these are full. As you can see, obviously water is running. So looking in the tote there, both of them are running. It is rather slow flow, so I do think this is a mag 18, 1800 gallons an hour. I did reduce it down to half-inch pipe, as I explained in the prior video, but the flow is not as high as I'd like it, especially returned to the totes. I'd like a lot more water flow, through the tote there. So we'll have to see how it goes. I do believe that between this right here, which that was removed um, to save the polyfill in that, to allow this whatever sticky to kind of run through the filter. The other rock's still in there. I'm not worried about it. I did leave that polyfill since the pump is here. As you can see, that's where the level of the water is. It's basically right after where the white reaches the blue there. And that's about where the water level is sitting right now. I do have, oddly enough, I do have this piece which may actually end up using is a float. This is actually to sit inside of a chicken water feeder, but you can hook it up to a hose. It's got a float in it, so I may actually use this inside the tote there, or possibly the barrel, to maintain, probably the tote, to maintain a water level. Only issue I have is that spigot is the spigot I have to use, and the spigot itself leaks, which is why the ground is wet, because when I run the spigot, I get water on the ground. So that side of it is a little frustrating, but we'll see how it goes. But just wanted to give you guys an update. Those two are running. Once he's been going for a couple days, I'll be able to put it into full-fledged filtration, and then wait for the cycle to start. I'll probably add the media from the two buckets that are in those two totes into the filtration system to help seed the filtration. Next up will be to test these to see how they're going to do. Since these flow, obviously, as you can see, are relatively low in my opinion, and these go uphill a little bit, but not that much. I am concerned with how these are going to run, because technically that elbow, the top elbow, is actually higher than this bulkhead. So I'll be interested to see how the gravity flow works through that line. The other one, yeah, I think the bulkhead is actually lower than the elbow there too. So we'll see what happens when I get to that point. Um, it may end up where the tote ends up filling, pretty high. But water level's still holding at the same spot, which is good. I'm probably gonna have to check it every single day to give you guys an idea of what the flow looks like. Let's see if I can show you here. It's kind of hard to see because I have all that wood on top right now. But let me see if I can give you guys a view of the flow that I'm talking about here. This is supposed to be, it is a mag 18, so it's supposed to have, you can kind of see it there. See if I can get it to focus. Let's see. Doesn't really want to focus on the, almost. So it's, there we go. So it's not terrible. It is just a half-inch pipe. Pointing down, it's about 2 inches. So I just don't think there's a lot of surface agitation or water movement in that regard in there. So we'll see how it goes. I'm gonna check the flow on both of them, and then kind of check all of them to see how it goes. Because the main concern there is the regulated flow between them all. So you can see that one's running as well. Looks like about the same flow, so not bad. Um, but I do like some surface agitation. It helps cool the water. Although I'm pretty sure all of the water going down the pipes is agitating, dropping into the barrels, agitating, and then dropping into the tote is agitating. So that certainly will help with the cooling. Since I did not insulate these, I did space everything so that I could drop insulation behind it, beside them, front and sides. I'll just cut holes or openings for the bulkheads, and then probably this side I'll have to maneuver around it. This is wrapped in 1 inch, but excuse me. Come winter, I'll probably drop a heater or two in this tote to regulate the temperature, and then we'll wrap it in insulation. These do get pretty cold out here. These two were moved outside when it was pretty cold still. We still had some low 30-degree weather at night, and even during the day we were in the 40s. And the heaters actually worked pretty well, but I did have some days where we were down to like 75, 76 degrees. 76 being okay, but obviously I like to keep my tanks around 80 degrees if I can, 80, just because it does increase the metabolism a little bit, it does increase the growth a little bit, it does help with the spreading of any kind of diseases, avoiding that, but it's not so cold, it's not too hot. So we'll see how it goes. I'll give you guys another update here soon, see how it's going. But again, looks like it's going pretty well here. And again, I do have the drain down there. So the goal with all of that is that the sediment should settle at the bottom, and I'm able to kind of clean it out with that. I do have the option of just running a hose down inside to kind of stir everything up. We'll see how it goes. I do have a lid for the barrel that I'm gonna put it upside down, but I'm gonna put it on there, keep bugs or anything from getting inside. And then I'm gonna cut some acrylic pieces so it sits on there, and then just cut out that section so that there's a little bit of an opening, and then probably the same on this section, do the same thing. So, but let me know what you guys think. Again, any suggestions you have, let me know. I'll give you guys another update once I get the other two totes running, and I'll kind of give you a breakdown of what I've seen happen in the last couple days as well at that point. Enjoy.